Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to yet another edition of the Dark Lord of Memes podcast. I'm your host, with the most, Dark Lord Ainz, and I'm joined here once again with my gracious co-host, the one and only Albedo. Albedo, how are you doing?
Honestly, I'm a bit under the weather, so if I sound a little, hoarse, that's why.
Yeah, so she's being a trooper today. She woke up today, wasn't feeling too well. It was starting off. It was going to be the first ever solo episode, but we got her some medicine, and she's powering through. I did an episode while under the weather, and she's going to power through and do it too. So thank you for powering through and joining the show today. I appreciate it.
I feel like I got hit by a car this morning as soon as I woke up, but hey, it's okay.
It's all for the sake of content. Oh, poor thing.
Yeah.
Get some liquids in you.
Yeah, my throat hurts so bad.
Yeah, she's a little sick. But as I'm going to do every week, and as we do every week, I just want to start off this episode by giving a shout out to the top fans over at our Facebook page. So, if you have Facebook, if you're looking for a great meme page, head on over to facebook.com/darklordainz. That's AINZ, Dark Lord Ainz, or you can just type in the search bar Dark Lord of Memes, and our meme page will pop up. And go throw us a like and give us, five-star review over there. And also, if you were listening to this, make sure if you're listening to on YouTube, give us a like, comment, share it on YouTube. We're also available on iTunes. Give us a 5-star rating over there on iTunes. We really appreciate it. It goes a long way in supporting the show. And also on Spotify, as well as Google Play, or wherever you find your podcasts. So, let me start off by giving a shout out to the new top fans. We have 7 new top fans over on the Facebook page this week, which is pretty high, so that's pretty good. So, I want to give a shout out to Emma Wang, Ryan Hall, Zachary Lee, Adam, Jeremy Richard, Joachim Elijah Coletta, and Justin Balzarini. Thank you guys so much for supporting the Dark Lord of Memes Dark Lord of Memes Facebook page, and thank you guys for being our new top fans. So hopefully you're enjoying the content that we post over there. We have a lot of fun posting, funny memes and risque memes for you guys, and we just hope you guys enjoy the content over there, as well as enjoying the content here on the podcast. And now, to start off this week's episode, we will be talking about what everybody's talking about, because it's kind of the only story that pops up on any of my news apps or social media.
Scrolling through Facebook, yeah, that's all you see is Corona.
Yeah, so obviously we got to talk about the coronavirus and the update on the whole coronavirus situation, kind of where the coronavirus epidemic stands today, and kind of just give our thoughts and feedback on, is this a big deal? Is this not a big deal? Is it being blown out of proportion? Is it a good thing that
is everyone acting like that weird customer that came through my job?
Yeah, so, oh yeah, that story. You should tell that story.
Do you want me to tell it right now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Alright, so...
This is a little,
this is like...
precursor to coronavirus. So.
This is so weird. So, everyone is, buying all of the hand sanitizer and everything. So apparently, hand sanitizer is in, pretty short demand. So she couldn't find hand sanitizer anywhere. She was panicking.
Go ahead. I'm gonna get Luna because she keeps meowing.
Everyone was she couldn't find hand sanitizer, and she was, coming in, yelling, and just being really weird, and was, my son's a truck driver, so I'm really worried. I have all these germs, blah, blah. And we're like, well, there's a sink over there that you can, like, wash your hands and everything. So she's like, okay, I'm going to go wash my hands, blah, blah, blah. And then she went and grabbed a coffee. She comes up to my register and plops down a wad of $20 bills wrapped up in a paper towel, and they were all soaking wet. She literally went to the sink and washed $20 bills in our sink because of the corona. And she was like...
So she's freaking out.
Yeah, so she was freaking out. Like, I offered her some hand sanitizer. She took the hand sanitizer and she, like, put it all over her and just being, like, kind of weird about it. And I was like, oh my gosh, like...
So this is a serious thing if she's, like, going to these links. Like, this is a real story that happened, correct? And
Yes.
I cannot believe this actually happened.
Like, why are you coming into a gas station to wash your hands? Like, aren't gas stations, like, stereotypically just, like, dirty?
Right, like, why would that be the place you go?
I mean, like, I guess we're a convenience store and not a gas station.
Yeah, but
and, the company I work for is, like, a really good one.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, of course, we do keep clean. We do try our best to stay clean and everything. So, it's just like, why? There's so many other options.
Right. And here's the thing. I think what is important and I think that needs to be said is, like, I'm not trying to downplay the coronavirus or anything, but I also think, like, the media plays a large part in, like, the attitude of how people respond to it, because if you see it everywhere and it's a news story, like, everywhere, and you repeatedly see it over and over again, and it's the leading story and literally every article is about coronavirus, like, it's going to freak people out and make them go crazy and insane. And, I mean, that lady's just, like, one example. And, I mean, once you look at the actual statistics of the coronavirus and, like, I mean, the damage that it has done, it's like, is it appropriately placed? Like, are we blowing this out of proportion? Or are we treating this in appropriate proportion? It's just, like, it kind of makes you question, like, what is the fine line? Like,
here's what I think about the coronavirus, honestly. Population control, like, nature naturally tries to keep, like, population in check, you know? And as we progress, like, scientifically, like, there's new cancer treatments being found, like, new diseases are popping up, but as soon as they pop up, like, we find cures for them, like H1N1, remember that?
Yeah, swine flu.
Yeah.
All that
so,
stuff.
Like, just going through all of that, and then we're always, like, progressing scientifically, keeping our lifespans longer and longer, keeping us healthier and healthier. Like, population is increasing. Nature can't keep up with trying to hold us down. So I genuinely do think, like, when stuff like that comes out, that's just nature's way of trying to find ways to keep our population
under control. Yeah, because honestly, like, the whole idea of, like, overpopulation is a thing. Like, it is, like I should look in, like, because I don't know, like, the numbers, but I think there are, like, statistics out there you can find, like, by year, you know, so and so, you know, things are going to be getting pretty crowded here in the United States. And we're kind of seeing that already with China, how they're limiting their people and their families over there to, like, a 2-child minimum, I think, or maximum.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it kind of seems like it's a battle between humanity and nature. Like, they're, like, at it. Like, you know, humanity's trying to prolong its lifespan with the scientific and medical enhancements. And then you have nature saying, hold on there, buddy. Like, I understand what you're trying to do and, like, make people live longer and stuff, but, like, we kind of need these, like,
resources.
Yeah, we kind of need these coronavirus things to kind of pop up to, like you said, like, keeping population in check, so there's, like, enough resources to go around.
Yeah.
For everybody. And that's another thing too, is, like, one thing that does kind of bother me is how, like, wasteful the United States kind of is, especially because, like, I think we have, like, we waste like a lot of food every year that could be going to like third world countries that are freaking like starving. Like they would like freaking kill each other over like the shit we throw away, and it's kind of like sad to think about. Like we need to find a better way to make sure like that food and those resources don't go to waste. Like that could be used like somewhere else to like keep their people like healthy. That's just like my thing about it. But I think that was a good precursor, to like the whole topic. I just had some things I wanted to point out about the coronavirus update. So this is kind of like the state of the coronavirus as it sits like today. So I read that the Senate in DC, they approved an $8.3 billion total coronavirus response package. $8.3 billion. So the article reads, the Senate voted on Thursday to approve a sweeping spending package to direct billions of dollars towards the U.S. government's response to the coronavirus outbreak as lawmakers scramble to fight the spread of the disease. Now, I've actively seen this within even like my job, like a lot more sanitizer things are being set up where you get because that's like the main thing is like people are saying like you make sure you're washing your hands and keeping away from germs. So they're starting to install a lot more of those. There's a lot more like wash your hands signage that are being posted up like around the building. So like I guess it's their way of trying to get the word out there and promote it. Like you need to do this, like getting out their message.
You know what made me mad though? When we went to the store today and I couldn't even buy like medications without providing like my ID verification that I was above the age of 18.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
Like, dude,
what if you're like a 17-year-old kid trying to get like medicines for like your mom or something? You had to like drive and like you don't have ID.
I don't know. Even on the box it says talk to your teen about drug abuse.
Really?
Yeah. But like I'm just like obviously like it's noticeable that I'm sick. You can look at me, you could hear me, you're like, yup, that person's sick. But I still needed an ID to
purchase that.
Yeah, like, dude, I'm not trying to be a crackhead. I'm trying to like.
Yeah, but that's like there's like 16 and 17-year-olds that might need to like, get it for like their family or something. You know what I mean? Like their parents can't go out. Like I wonder how that would work in situations like that. You know what I mean? That'd be interesting.
And why do you only assume that it's kids that are abusing that as a drug?
That's also true. But I mean, we know in like music we are seeing a lot more younger people dying of like drugs.
Yeah, but who's gonna just take those tablets and just be like, "Yep, I'm abuse these tablets." Yeah, it's different than codeine.
Yeah, it's like Dayquil.
Yeah.
Over the counter stuff, I think that's a little much for over the counter. Like I can see like prescription, maybe, yeah, but like over the counter, no. So yeah, the back to the coronavirus though. The package will next be sent to the White House for the president's signature. It passed the House on Wednesday with broad bipartisan support. It says, so the agreement provides $7.8 billion in appropriations to address the outbreak of coronavirus, as well as an authorization for $500 million in mandatory spending to fund a telehealth program in an effort to expand access to health services for seniors for a total of $8.3 billion in all. So they just signed this, like they're spending over $8 billion on this outbreak. Like they're trying to, get ahead of it. So then I did like a little more research, just like what the symptoms are. So these are like things to look for with the coronavirus. So it says the coronavirus is a respiratory disease which seems to start with a fever followed by a dry cough. So that's how it like kicks off. And then after a week it leads to shortness of breath and some patients require hospital treatment. These symptoms do not necessarily mean you have the illness. They are similar to those for much more common viruses such as colds and flu. So yeah, I know it was like compared to like SARS, I think, as being like a respiratory thing.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it looks like it starts off with a fever, then follows up with a dry cough. In more severe cases, coronavirus can can cause pneumonia, severe acute respiratory syndrome, multiple organ failure, and even death. Then it gets into like how to protect yourself. So regular and thorough hand washing is crucial in the fight to avoid picking up the disease, health agencies say. It is not yet known exactly how coronavirus spreads from person to person, so it's not exactly known like how you can contract it. However, similar viruses are spread via droplets, such as those produced when an infected person coughs or sneezes. So, I was saying, like, that's how I didn't like our cat sneezing on me, because I started freaking out. I was like...
She sneezed on me this morning.
Yeah.
It was so gross. Like, she, like, sneezed right into my mouth.
Yeah, and I want, like... I don't know, that just, like... It's been... Like, ever since I read that, it's been, like, freaking me out. Like, whenever she sneezes, I'm like... I just, like,
she's just a cat. Leave her alone.
I know. It says...
She's done worse.
True. It says, so coughing and sneezing into tissues, not touching your face with unwashed hands, and trying to avoid close contact with infected people are important. Face masks do not provide effective protection against coronavirus, according to medical experts. I did not know that. So it looks like that's kind of useless. It says
hey, babe, what if I have coronavirus?
Don't say that. Do not say that. You don't have it.
You sound more like you're trying to talk yourself off to actually reassure me.
No, but like as soon as you said you were sick, I remembered like the symptoms, and that's why I checked you for a fever, because I like read that earlier and I was like, well, you don't have a fever, you're not hot, so I think you're good, because I know how it starts off, so I know you don't have it. But you are sick, and it is important. You just don't have corona. Which is great. Yay! insert crowd applause here. Yay! Well, that's good to know you don't have coronavirus. So, that's kind of like an update on the whole situation. Like I said, every article that I see is about it. So, like, I mean, it was just in the news, and I wanted to cover it. But I will say that if I'm reading an article on the news or in social media, and it's not about coronavirus, it's about the Democratic primary. Mm-hmm. And that's the next thing I want to cover, because, I like politics, it interests me. So, the Democratic primary has essentially become a two-person race. It is now down to former Vice President Joe Biden, and the Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders. It's a two-person race, and Super Tuesday just recently happened, which was basically what that is 14 states, including like a few others. I think like DC might have had it, I'm not sure. But I know like 14 states basically had their Democratic primary. Biden won 10 of the 14. So he did very well. And basically he's been riding that momentum ever since. It started off with him winning the South Carolina primary first. That was like the first kind of big win for him, because I actually watched the Democratic debate, which was the night before, I think, the primary, like very soon before. It was like close to the primary happening. And he like literally came out and said, I'm winning South Carolina. And so I was just like, dang, like he's pretty confident. I was just like a bold statement, I guess, to just say, I'm going to win. Because she was like, what? Like, because at that point, it was weird, because up until that point, his momentum wasn't that, like, great. Like, he wasn't doing that well. And then, that's why she asked the question. She's like, so, I mean, if it comes down to it and you lose South Carolina, like, are you going to, like, because basically everyone was saying his chances hinged on South Carolina. There's like, so if you lose it, like, does that mean your campaign's over? And he's like, I'll win South Carolina. And she was like, but what if you don't? He's like, I will win it. I was just like, dang. So, and then he won, right? He won. And then the Super Tuesday happens, and he wins 10 out of the 14 states. And I'm just gonna say I hope this is shades of what happened when it was Hillary versus Obama, when they were like the last two. I think whenever was that, it would have been 18 or 6 or 8. I forget when they ran head to head, what year that was. I don't know if it was 08 or 16. I don't remember, but or 12. Not here nor there. But I hope it's kind of shades of that, because I think first Hillary was winning. Like after Super Tuesday, she had more delegates than Obama, and then we know, Obama went on to win. So I'm hoping it's kind of shades of that is what I'm hoping and praying for. Fingers crossed. But it just kind of sucks because now that it's a 2-person race, that's fine if it's 1-on-1, and then like on top of that, everyone and their mother is basically endorsing Biden now. Like,
I do not know why.
I don't know. Pete Buttigieg dropped out, and now he's endorsing Biden, and Biden has guaranteed him a spot on his cabinet if he wins the presidency. So he's guaranteed a spot. Amy Klobuchar dropped out. I believe she's backing Biden as well, endorsed him. And then I also heard that at a recent rally or some campaign event, she came out and said she was excited to join Biden on the ticket, the 2020 ticket, and then she like quickly, backtracked and said, oh no, I slipped up or whatever. But it led to speculation that if he wins the, Democratic nomination, that he would have her be his vice president. Now, that's not saying that's confirmed. It's just literally a rumor at this point, speculation. But that's a possibility. And so they both dropped out. They're backing Biden. It sucks. And then I heard today that Kamala Harris has now endorsed Biden. When she's dropped out earlier. She's just now made her decision so that's 3 people that have dropped out are just saying we're going with Biden. So it seems like the narrative is that the DNC, the Democratic, National Convention, they're basically saying we want Biden to be our guy. That's the message it's sending. They're saying they think Biden has a better shot at beating Trump 1-on-1. And honestly, it's just kind of saddening. Like I wish they would like do this for Bernie. Like just embrace Bernie.
Feel the burn.
Yeah, feel the burn. Because I mean, when our primary comes around, I'm definitely gonna vote for Bernie. Like,
dude, Yang needs to be like
Bernie's his VP.
Yes.
Oh my god,
yes.
If they were together,
dude, like.
Oh.
Okay, babe. Don't have to pee your pants, alright?
I would love that so hard. You don't understand. Bernie and Yang.
Who wouldn't want a goth boy for president?
Dude, I would love that so much.
Or vice president.
Vice president, yeah, that would be amazing. If he were to
Yang Gang.
So here's my theory. I think for Bernie's, let me look this up real quick. But I think in order for Bernie to have a chance, he's got to win California. I think if he that's the next big win he needs. If he does not win California, then it's pretty much a done deal that Biden, I think, is going to be. And so I think because California has so many delegates, like you win California, you win a crap ton of, delegate votes.
Yeah.
So it all depends on that. So I guess I just looked it up. 94% have reported for that primary, and Bernie did win the most delegates, so that's a good sign. So, I forgot to say Michael Bloomberg is also he dropped out and he's endorsing Biden as well. So that's 4. Pete Buttigieg, Amy Klobuchar, Kamala Harris, Mike Bloomberg all dropped out and endorsed them. There's probably more, but those are the ones I can remember off the top of my head. Elizabeth Warren, she dropped out as well. She lost her home state.
Ooh.
Like, that's rough. Like, dang, like, she did very poorly. Like, it was crazy. Like, I thought, like, she had, like, a lot of supporters, especially from, like, females. Like, females where I work, like, love her. But, like, she did not do well in polling. She dropped out. But I don't think she's come out to support either Biden or Bernie yet. I hope she backs Bernie. But, so it looks like Bernie Sanders got 186 delegates from California, but Biden got 148. Mike Bloomberg got 15 and Elizabeth Warren got 5. So I'm interested in seeing where the delegate count stands right now. Let's see. Okay, so here it is. So, it's closer than I thought it was. Is this really what it is? Dude, Bernie's still in this. Bernie's definitely still in this, I believe. 2020 primary elections delegate count. So the Democratic nominee will be selected by delegates at the Democratic National Convention taking place July 13th through the 16th in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. To win the nomination on the first ballot, a Democratic candidate must receive support from a majority of the pledged delegates, at least 1,991 of the total 3,979 pledged delegates. President Donald Trump, meanwhile, is a shoo-in to garner the support of the majority of delegates necessary to win the GOP nomination in North Carolina in August, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so you need 1,991 to win, right? So Biden is at 624, leading the pack, and Bernie's at 556. So it's not that, I mean, it's like a what? Almost like a 60-70 delegate lead. But I think it's still definitely doable for Bernie. I don't think he's out of it by any means. So we'll see how it goes. You know, I made it known I'm a Bernie supporter. I think a lot of people, why a lot of people are afraid to have Bernie win is, in my personal opinion, probably because Trump versus Bernie, they're like polar opposites. And so their fan bases and their supporters are polar opposites. Now, I'm not saying all the people that support Trump are like extreme, like right wing or whatever, but there's a lot of like loyal, motivated supporters in Trump's like side, like very energized, like, you know, like they wear the hats, like he has a very strong, you know, support base. But Bernie has like basically the same thing, but on the liberal side. Like he has like crazy, like there's a lot of Bernie bros like out there that are just like rah rah Bernie is the best thing, and they kind of take it too far. You know, there's extremes on both ends. But I'm still Team Bernie. I will vote for Bernie. I cannot, in good conscience, just vote for Biden over.
And Biden is just so creepy.
Such a creep, man. Like, I don't see how people just can overlook that.
Like he's probably like, if he becomes president, he's probably just gonna grab some girl's hair and just go and just sniff her hair at the like with his hand on the Bible, like for the United States.
Right, like when he's getting sworn in.
Yeah.
It's crazy because
he's probably just gonna go.
It's crazy because like he's shown like so many instances of like his brain slipping, like him just like losing it, like saying the wrong thing. Like there's that viral clip of him saying like,
if you don't
vote for Biden, vote for the other Biden. And I was like, what? Like, and then like there's another viral clip where like he's basically like yelling at a reporter like, hey, have you seen that one? I want to see if I can find it real quick. Oh, it's so he's just so creepy. And then like the pictures with like There's like a funny meme that I saw where he confused, I think, someone with like his wife, and then like it said Biden wins Alabama or something. Oh my god. But yeah, he's just like so creepy, man. And I don't know why he kind of gets away with it. You know?
I don't either.
Why attack Sanders? Why? You're getting nervous, man. He apologized for saying that I was corrupt. He didn't say anything about whether or not I was telling the truth about Social Security.
I love that.
We've been doing everything we can do to keep Biden from being the nominee, and guess what? We tried it in Iraq. It's not working, so now we're going to try, in Iran? Excuse me. We tried in Ukraine.
Like, what is he saying?
The Me Too movement has forced a cultural reckoning around the issue of sexual violence and harassment against women in America.
We have to just change the culture, period, and keep punching at it and punching at it and punching at it. Very poor choice of words.
How do you explain the performance in Iowa, and why should the voters believe that you can win the national election?
Number one, Iowa's a Democratic caucus. You ever been to a caucus? No, you haven't. You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier. You said you were, but now you got to be honest. I'm going to be honest with you.
I don't. What?
You're a damn liar, man. That's not true. No, let him go. Look, listen to you. I'm not voting for you. Well, I knew you weren't, man. You think I thought you said I would vote for you? You're too old to vote for me. The fact is, if you're going to take on the government, you need an F-15 with Hellfire missiles. There's no way an AK-47 is going to take care of you if you're going to take on. You're worried about the government coming down, knocking down your door. We never said you could own any weapon at all. You can't have a magazine that has more than 10 rounds in it. We choose unity over division. We choose science over fiction. We choose truth over facts. And to get hot, I got hairy legs that turn blonde in the sun. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again. They look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap. And I've loved kids jumping on my lap.
He pointed at a kid when he said that.
No, did he really? No, let it continue, babe. There's like a minute. There's like 30 seconds left.
We have this notion that somehow if you're poor, you cannot do it. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. Wealthy kids, black kids, Asian kids.
You see him trying to correct himself?
We've acted together. We have never been unable to overcome whatever the problem was. If you agree with me, go to Joe 30330 and help me in this fight. Thank you very much.
So I thought that was very appropriate to play because, in my opinion, I think Joe Biden is just losing it. I think his brain is slipping. I think once you hit a certain age, and it goes for everybody. Like, I mean, Bernie's still, he's up there.
You, by the way.
He did?
Yeah.
Okay. I think he's just like losing it, and I think it happens to everyone at a certain age. And like I was saying, Bernie is like getting up there, or he's pretty old too, but like I don't think it's as bad as Biden saying vote for the other Biden. Like, I don't know. That's just my take on it. But
he could have just been like trying to be funny and say instead of vote, if you don't vote for Biden, vote for the other guy then.
Yeah, but he didn't.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, that could have been a possibility.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess, like I said, I'm gonna be voting for Bernie. Bernie's my guy.
Definitely.
And that's all I gotta say about that. But next up, we will be talking about our anime recommendations. So, I think for this week, what we can do is I have one that will work for both of us. And I think it'll be a recommendation coming from both of us because we will be watching the next season of this anime very soon.
Oh, Castlevania.
Yes. So I'm glad you knew. So we would like to recommend to you the Netflix anime series Castlevania. The 3rd season just came out a few days ago. And I think it is fabulous. I'm a big fan. It follows the story of Vlad, who is like Vlad the Impaler, or what is his name? I think yeah, Vlad the Impaler. Which is also known as Dracula, and it's just great. And the last season was so good. It ends like on a well, I'm not going to spoil it, but I'm not going to provide any spoilers because that's a pretty big spoiler. But definitely watch it.
Oh, it's so good. I was so happy when I showed you it, and you were like, oh, this is so good. And then you're like, it only has 1 season. And then we checked again, and it had 2. And I'm like, I haven't even seen the 2nd season. So we watched the 2nd season together.
And now it's got 3, dude. And I saw the review for it, and people are giving it like perfect 10 out of 10s.
Oh my goodness! I need to see it.
I need to see it.
I don't feel that good.
It is really good. So yeah, definitely recommend it. Let me just look up a quick synopsis really quick so it kind of gives people an understanding. Of the show because it is very good. Like visually, it's very pleasing. The action is great. The fight scenes are awesome if you like blood and guts.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of like gore. Like if you have a weak stomach, you probably wouldn't be able to watch it because I do think it's like kind of Attack on Titan, if not worse, with gore.
Yeah. And I love Attack on Titan. I think Attack on Titan is pretty freaking dope. But yeah, I honestly, in my opinion, I would give Castlevania probably a 9.5 out of 10.
I would give it a perfect score.
Yeah, it's just hard for me to give like perfect scores, but like it actually might be a 10, honestly. I think you're right. Like it has everything you want. Yeah,
it genuinely. I mean, if you're not someone who likes gore and guts and stuff, obviously you wouldn't give it, like, a good score. But I feel like if you didn't, that just wouldn't be fair.
Right. So, I highly recommend it. So, okay. So, here's what I found. Okay, so... It follows the story of Dracula. I can't really give it away without spoiling it. That's the thing.
Like, it follows the video games.
Yeah. And basically the characters are, there's the Belmont, the last of the Belmonts, who's like a very awesome warrior. He travels with he has like a female companion now who's like a mage. And then you have the son of Dracula. I can't think of his name right now. Alucard, yeah, Alucard. Who's freaking badass, who's the son of Dracula and his mother was like...
you can't, like, you're gonna spoil... Oh, you already spoiled it as soon as you brought Alucard in it, though.
Oh, did I? I won't...
Yeah.
Yeah, because he comes in season 2.
He's the end of season 1, I believe.
Oh, okay.
But he's, like, half human, half vampire.
Yeah.
His mom was accused of being a witch, and she was burned at the stake after
Yeah.
he was born, and Dracula kind of just got free reign after that.
This is basically what I'll tell you. I'll stop giving away like the characters. I kind of did like spoil it a bit. But it's been out since 2017, so hopefully it's not too bad of a spoiler. But basically it follows. So Dracula meets this woman who basically wants to learn, wants to be like the best at like healing and medicine, and wants to like help advance humanity. And she thinks the only way to do that is like seeking otherworldly help in Dracula. But they fall in love. And then she's burned at the stake for, like you said, being accused for being a witch, for her witchcraft and her powers. So she gets burned at the stake, and then Dracula basically just loses it, and he's like, you guys, like, humanity is scum, you guys don't deserve to be alive, you guys disgust me, you guys are all trash. So he basically unleashes hell on all of humanity, and I think he like literally like gives them like a year to like, he's like, I'll be back in like 1 year to like just end you guys.
Wreak havoc on everybody.
And dude, he does, and it's great. And it has great story. I think this anime would really be good for people who actually even like aren't even familiar with like anime in general. This is like a good one to like introduce people, like being like your first one. I would recommend it because I think it has, it's in a pretty cool setting. With great characters, has like a good story,
and like everyone knows about the Castlevania games,
right? And it's a very popular game series as is. So definitely check out Castlevania. I'm so excited to watch season 3. Very pumped. Everyone's giving it 10 out of 10, so I'm excited to watch that, which I definitely will be. And now, the final topic of this week's episode, I will be giving my own personal review on Lil Uzi's long-awaited Love is Rage 2 follow-up album, Eternal ATAKE. Now, if you are familiar with Lil Uzi and the story and the kind of the mystique that has built up around him dropping EA. It's kind of similar to Playboi Carti dropping his long-awaited Whole Lotta Red album. People are clamoring for Carti to drop that album, and I too need it. So Carti, if you're listening to this, which you're probably not, but by the off chance you do listen to this, drop Whole Lotta Red, please. The world needs it. The culture needs it. Do the world a service and drop Whole Lotta Red. Thank you. Now, with that being said, let's get back to Eternal ATAKE. Now, I've listened to Eternal ATAKE frontwards and backwards a couple times now, probably like at least 3 times now. And honestly, I've enjoyed the album a lot. I'm a big Uzi fan. I do realize that it's pretty much hit or miss when it comes to Uzi songs for some people. But I'm a big Baby Pluto, Renji, Uzi fan. I love them. Love me some Baby Pluto. And I thought this album was really good. Now, the total track list is 18 songs, 16 songs plus 2 bonus tracks, which he dropped earlier, and leading up to the album actually dropping. Was it 2020 Futsal Shuffle, which is a really good song. And my favorite one that he dropped, That Way, where he samples Backstreet Boys' I Want It That Way. It's a masterpiece. Love me some That Way. Really good song.
You've listened to it like 50 times.
Do not call me out on the podcast. No,
I love how you said that you watched it, like, you've listened to the album like 3 times or whatever, when literally every time I get into the car, it's, I want it that way.
But it's a banger. I love that song.
You're always just playing Lil Uzi songs ever since it dropped.
Because, listen, so in my defense, this album has been on the shelf for 2.5 years. Like, we've been waiting for this album. And so it was originally slated for him to drop it next weekend. He was supposed to drop it next Friday, I think, which is it originally. So I was like, oh, okay, so like it's coming, but you know, I'll have to wait like another week. But then, like, out of nowhere, I'm at work, just on the computer, mind my business, and then I get a Snapchat from my friend, and he's like, bro, Uzi dropped EA, and I was like, dude, could you really stop messing with my feelings right now? Like, I'm at work. And he's like, no, dude, like, he dropped it. Like, it's out right now. And I was like, what? And so, like, he sent me a screenshot of it on iTunes. And I saw this. And I was like, it just made my day, like, so much better. Like, I was like, oh, my God. He dropped it a week early. Let's go. Let's get it. Surprise drop. I'm lit. So, obviously, I listened to it at work and going home from work. And so I have what my favorite songs on the album are as it stands right now. So I'm a really big fan of the song Lo Mein, which is number 2 song on the track. I love that song. Also love I'm Sorry, Celebration Station, Bigger Than Life, and Chrome Heart Tags. Like, those are like 4 straight songs that I just like, I fuck with heavy. Also a fan of the song Urgency featuring Sid, and of course, like, P2, which is part 2 of his, you know, breakout song, EXO Tour Life, which everyone knows that song, hopefully. Yeah. So it's part 2 of that, and it's a really good follow up.
Like, I'm not even an Uzi fan, and I know that song.
Yeah, exactly. So I would say here are my favorite songs. So Lo Mein, that's 1. Lo Mein, I'm Sorry, Celebration Station, Bigger Than Life, Chrome Heart Tags, Urgency, P2, and That Way. So 8 out of 18 songs I really, really like. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good ratio. Now, what he also released on Twitter was that he's dropping a deluxe edition to Eternal ATAKE. So Eternal ATAKE Deluxe is coming out, and he's dropping 8 more songs that I am lit for. Absolutely excited. I love Uzi. Baby Pluto coming in clutch. So that's going to be 18 plus 8. That's 26? 26 songs. That is nice. So it's rumored he's going to be dropping Myron. I need Myron. I need that song so bad. You don't understand. That's like one of my favorite Uzi songs, and it's been unreleased forever. But he's finally going to drop it. He's been teasing it like for years with like dance videos and playing like snippets of it. And he's finally going to release the song. I'm so excited. I think he's also going to release some songs featuring with Young Thug, Lil Baby. I think he might have one. Sorry, with Future. He posted on Twitter like which ones he was going to drop. Let's see here. He's dropping some post-posthumous projects. We know he has like 2,000 songs stashed somewhere that I need, like right now. I don't think we're getting any more X music, sadly, which is very disappointing. But man, I need to get as much Uzi music as I can get, because I don't know how, I don't know what's gonna happen. So yeah, those are the songs I really like from the album. I think I would rate it out of 10, solid 9, solid 9, like a solid 9. I think he just like the thing with Uzi is like I like how he delivers lines. He goes like really fast, and he has like a very good way of he has a really good sense of like tracking cadences. I don't know how he does it, but he does like a really good job of that. I just looked at the pile of Kit Kats you just ate.
I love these Kit Kats.
Oh my gosh. How many is that? Can I count?
No, they're gonna know I'm overweight.
You're not over. What? I'm gonna count in my head.
I should be like 120 and I'm like 140.
Wow. Well, it was double-digit rappers. Just gonna throw that out there.
Leave me alone.
No, it's okay. No, it is pretty good. I had one of them, but yeah, definitely 9 out of 10. But like I said, I really recommend this if you're already like into trap rap and that kind of scene already. If you're not, then don't go out of your way. You probably won't dig it, but yeah, this is a project definitely for like a younger crowd. Probably won't see too many older people bumping this ish. But I think that's going to do it for this week. We covered everything we wanted to cover. We hit all the points, so I think that's going to do it this week. So thank you guys so much for listening. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel over at the Dark Lord of Memes podcast. That is the channel name, Dark Lord of Memes podcast. Go subscribe. Also go like us on Facebook, like I said, facebook.com/darklord Ainz. That's AINZ. And also, if you find us on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts, give us a good rating. Share us if you enjoy. And we will be back next week. Thank you guys, and have a great day.